right, we're going live now. Let me just double check a couple things. All set. Good evening, everyone. I'm Zen Master Sebastian Rizzon, founding master of the Zen Art Center and the Mind Light Way School of Zen Arts. I lead these guided meditations on the first Thursday of every month, and I hold a Dharma talk and group meditation on the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. You can also find these streamed live or anytime after on the Zen Art Center YouTube channel. So let me start by telling you a little bit about me. I lived in a Buddhist temple for 16 years with my teacher, great Zen Master Chengsi Kim. These lessons and techniques that I'm going to teach in class tonight are all derived from my experiences studying and teaching Zen for nearly 20 years. Traditionally, Zen practice uses koans to ask us to point us to ask questions to ourselves about the truth of nature or the natural truth. In Buddhism, that's called the Dharma. So the koans are supposed to push you to gain a deeper understanding about the truth of nature and the nature of reality. To understand nature, first you must understand what's the origin of everything we know, perceive, and experience. This means you have to understand what's at the core of your being. In Zen, we say that this means you have to understand your mind. So what is the mind? This is the koan I give to all of my students and everyone who comes to these classes. We all understand that we have a mind, but what is it? I teach Zen practice as a way to guide other people towards this, towards understanding this. I call the way I teach the mind light way. The mind is the origin of everything we know. The light of your mind is what shines on everything that you're aware of. The way is the practice that illuminates the mind. When you illuminate your mind, you see your true nature. That's what we call getting enlightenment. Zen practice works like this. The koans are the seeds that we plant in our mind. These seeds need the light of our mind to grow. Our thoughts are like weeds sprouting up all over the place and blocking out the light. For our seeds to receive the light and grow, we need to clear out all of the weeds. So this is what we use meditation for, to clear our mind of all of our thoughts. Then the light of our mind can incubate our seeds. So with that said, plant that seed in your mind. Ask yourself, what is your mind? And with that, we'll move into some meditation practices. First, when we're sitting, we're going to sit with our legs crossed, and you want to keep your neck and back straight as much as you can. If you're sitting in a seat, you can try to keep your feet flat on the floor. And then you want to have right hand, left hand, touching thumbs, centered in your lap. And if you're sitting down, you can have your legs crossed. But before we get into the meditation, I want to just start with a breathing technique to get our bodies ready for meditation. So start by just taking some slow and deep breaths. Start by breathing just a little bit slower and deeper than you usually do. Now visualize your heart in the center of your chest as you breathe. As you listen to me, I just want you to keep slowing down your breath and breathing a little bit deeper. Feel your breath coming in through your nose and mouth, collecting all of the energy from your brain and moving it from your head into your heart. Imagine now that you're breathing with your heart. The purpose of this is to try to align our mind, heart, and body. You can also place your hand on your heart and close your eyes if you'd like. Just keep breathing slow and deep as I talk. This is a technique that you can use to relax or reset yourself whenever you feel nervous or anxious, or whenever you feel like you need to switch activities from different things you're doing throughout the day. You can use it when you wake up, before you enter a stressful meeting, before you go to sleep, or before you meditate. So let's just take a few more moments and take some slow and deep breaths. So one of the most basic meditation techniques you can use is breathing meditation. In traditional Zen meditation, we usually focus on a mantra. The mantra is typically a word or a phrase that's repeated within your mind that's used to push out all of the other thoughts. In this part of class, we'll use our breath as the focus of our meditation. For this technique, we'll just sit still and quietly count our breaths. During this meditation, try to stay focused on your breath. If you lose count, it's a sign that you've lost your focus. As soon as you have that realization, just start over and start counting again. You can do this technique with your eyes opened or closed. If your eyes are open, your gaze should be towards the floor. So let's practice this together for a few minutes. For this next meditation, we're going to be using sound as our mantra. For this meditation, we'll just focus our mind on the resonance of the singing bowl. Let the sound push out all of the thoughts and clear your mind. If thought comes, just let them go and return to focusing on the sound. Next, we're going to go through a series of meditations which can help you set your intentions for life. The first meditation is a meditation on gratitude. We're just going to take a few minutes to remind ourselves of the reasons that we have to be grateful and give thanks within our mind. For example, I always like to remind myself to be thankful for my health, my family, my friends, and my teachers. The things that you're thankful for could be very general or very specific. That's up to you. No matter how bad things get in my life at times, I always like to remind myself that I still have plenty to be thankful for. This helps me keep a positive perspective and outlook in every circumstance. Now I want you to close your eyes for a few minutes and think about the things in your life that you're thankful and grateful for. If you can't think of a long list of things to be thankful for right now, that's okay. You can just repeat a few things in your mind as if they're a mantra. So we'll get started with that. next meditation, I want to focus on forgiveness. This can be a really difficult one. It's not always easy to forgive, but it's an essential part of healing ourselves. So here we're going to take a moment to forgive ourselves and the others in our lives who've caused us harm and express our forgiveness. This is not to make an excuse for the harm that's been done or the person that's caused us harm. It's more to acknowledge that harboring feelings of anger, hatred, and resentment can stunt our own personal growth. This doesn't mean that you have to welcome someone that's harmed you back into your life or that you should continue to expose yourself to more harm in any way. It's more about empowering yourself to remove the shackles that the harm may have caused you so that you can move on from that burden. Let's take a few minutes to forgive ourselves and the others for the mistakes that were made and the harm that's been done. Let's also pray that we don't continue to harm each other or others in ways which cause unnecessary suffering. So now let's close our eyes for a few moments and focus on forgiveness. Now we're going to take a few minutes to focus on affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements or phrases that are repeated within our mind with the intention of cultivating a positive mindset. The idea behind affirmations is to reinforce positive thoughts and to motivate ourselves to focus on our strengths, goals, and desired outcomes. The affirmations can be anything that's meaningful to you, but here's a few ideas you can use if you want some examples. Each breath is a mantra that clears my mind. My actions are my mantra. My mantra keeps me focused on each moment. Meditation keeps my mind clear and ready to embrace whatever arises. I'm liberated from attachment to my thoughts, opinions, and desires. Each breath connects me to the world around me. Love and compassion fill my heart and guide my actions. I treat myself and others with kindness and compassion. My destiny is to attain enlightenment. I believe in myself and my ability to stay true to my path. Use your affirmations as a mantra during this meditation. Now let's take a few minutes to remind ourselves of our intentions and aspirations. Now we're going to focus on our prayers. You can pray for yourself, the world, and the universe. I usually pray for good health, happiness, and success in my endeavors. I also pray for the good health and good fortune of my family, friends, teachers, and enlightenment for everyone in the world. You can pray for a friend or a family member who's sick. You can pray for peace and harmony in the world. You can pray for anything you want. When you pray, the air collects your prayers and brings them out into the world where they gather and create potential. The more you pray, the more potential you create. So let's take a few minutes to focus on our prayers. Gratitude and prayer meditations are something that I personally do every day before I bow and chant. Forgiveness is something I focus on whenever I feel anger or resentment. Today, we've planted the seeds which affirm ourselves, our gratitude, our ability to forgive, and our prayers. Now we can move into the traditional mantra meditation to clear our mind of the extraneous thoughts that we allow to grow like weeds. This will allow the seeds that we want to nurture and grow become the beautiful flowers that we imagine. You can use the previous techniques to set your intentions and create clarity in your life. However, if you want to understand the mind and experience enlightenment, you need to push beyond all of your thoughts and words to a realm that transcends all of your mental constructs and conceptual thinking. To reach this point, you have to completely empty your mind. In Zen, we use meditation to help us reach that point. The traditional technique we use is called a mantra meditation. The mantra is a focal point of the meditation, usually a word or a phrase that's repeated within your mind. If you try not to think, thoughts will inevitably come into your mind. So by focusing on a mantra, you can use it to push out all of the other thoughts. When you meditate on a mantra, try to let go of your feelings, opinions, and desires. As you meditate, only concentrate on your mantra. If a thought comes into your mind, let it pass and return to focusing on your mantra. You can use anything you want as a mantra during meditation. But if you don't have a mantra that you want to use, I usually suggest using the mantra of Kwan Seum Bosal, pronounced Kwan Seum Bosal. Kwan Seum Bosal is the name of the bodhisattva of love and compassion in Korean Zen. A bodhisattva is a revered teacher in Buddhism dedicated to helping others. Kwan Seum Bosal is often depicted with thousands of eyes and hands and is said to be able to see the suffering of everyone and help those who call out her name. Using this mantra will bring compassionate energy towards you while you meditate. Drawing compassionate energy towards you is like giving water to your seeds, which will help them grow. Once again, the mantra is Kwan Seum Bosal, but you can use anything else if you prefer. So let's close our eyes and meditate on our mantra. So all of these techniques that we practice tonight can be very useful in clearing your mind. Having a clear mind can have all sorts of practical benefits in your life. It sharpens your ability to focus and concentrate. A clear mind leads to clear thinking, which helps you make better decisions. If you make better decisions, you have less stress, anxiety, and depression. But you can't just sit and meditate your whole day. You have to live your life. You have to do all kinds of things just to survive. So how do you keep a clear mind when you're not meditating? You have to learn how to focus on your actions as if they're a mantra. This means you have to be completely focused on whatever you're doing and not let your mind wander. This practice is what I call moving meditation. Anything you do can be a moving meditation. I find the best way to practice this technique is by doing an activity you enjoy. It could be an artistic endeavor like drawing or painting, writing, or making music. It could also be a sport or a physical endeavor like yoga or weightlifting or riding a bike or martial arts. Engaging in a physically challenging activity will also make your body stronger, which is also vital for maintaining your mental health. Even walking can be a form of moving meditation. If you engage all of your senses to focus on everything going on around you, this elevated awareness will enrich all of your experience and allow you to experience a more richness of all of the things happening around you. If you want to improve the effectiveness of these techniques, you'll need to practice them. My suggestion is to start by doing a few of these techniques every day. Start by doing 1 or 2 of these sitting meditation techniques for a few minutes a day. Try starting out by doing 1 to 5 minutes in the morning, but try to make sure you do it every single day. This will help you to start out every day with a clear mind. Then try adding 15 minutes of physical activity a few days a week. Do some stretching or go for a walk or a bike ride. It could be anything physical that you enjoy doing that helps you clear your mind. Then try adding 30 minutes of a creative practice a couple days a week and make this part of your weekly routine. Doing this each week will transform your routine into a ritual for improving your physical and mental health. As this becomes easier, you can expand your practice, but always do at least a little bit of practice every day. Consistent practice is the key to making these techniques work for you. These types of practices will help you learn to be present in each moment. Then eventually, you can turn everything you do into a meditation. You can meditate on doing your dishes, cleaning the house, gardening, or the work you're doing at your job. Learning to harness this type of concentration and focus will make you better at everything you do, and it will help you to clear your mind. If you practice like this, you will develop a routine that's constantly clearing out your mind, no matter what you're doing. If you take anything from this class today, remember this. Plant your seeds, set your intentions, and challenge yourself to understand the deeper truth of our nature. Clear your mind. Use sitting and moving meditation to incubate those seeds. If you keep going like this, eventually you'll see the beautiful flowers blossoming all around you. The fruit of all your work will be a clear mind that allows you to find a more harmonious existence within the world. I wish you all good luck in that journey. This is a part of the class where I take questions and answer questions from anybody in the audience. I think we have a few people watching online as well, so I'll check the chat if people are dropping messages in the chat. I think there's a little lag on that, so if anybody here has any questions about anything I said, Anything about meditation? Anything about Zen? Spirituality? Questions about life in general?
No, just enjoyed doing it after a long time.
Okay, excellent, excellent. You have a question?
No, I have a comment. I particularly enjoyed the singing ball.
Okay.
It was such a treat, and I wonder if there is like a metaphysical or any reason why the using the ball is like so relaxing. It felt like a massage.
Yeah, a metaphysical answer.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be metaphysical.
I think the comment is just for the people who are listening who might not have heard you, was that uh, one of the people here really enjoyed the singing bowl meditation. I think sometimes things have a resonance that vibrates, within your body. It strikes a chord with the vibrations, a natural harmony with the vibrations of your body. I think perhaps that can aid in the meditation process. I don't have like a really specific answer for you. I think the lots of traditions have different types of sounds, whether it's chanting or like the singing they do in the churches, things like that. I believe there's some sort of chanting in Islam as well, as far as I know, right? They have some sort of chanting as well. So I think every culture that practices religion has caught on to that somehow there are natural frequencies that help people reach that meditative state and help people feel connected more with nature or the natural frequencies within themselves. Other than that, I don't have a really specific or great answer for you on that.
That's a good answer.
I think there's a question here in the chat. I have a question about the nature of the mind. Do you feel as though the mind is a mirror for the sensory stimuli in our lives? Or does the mind encompass a shared consciousness that surpasses this? They also said the vibration resonated with her frequency and may have also been clearing energy. So, regarding the mind, is the mind a mirror for the sensory stimuli in our lives? Or does the mind encompass a shared consciousness that surpasses this? So, the question about the mind is a tough one to answer. The mind is, in its purest form, it's empty. That means there's nothing. It's completely empty. So in that regard, it transcends all of our sensory stimuli that comes from our body. So I wouldn't call it a mirror quite in that sense. And I also believe that the idea in Zen meditation, as I said, is we're trying to understand what our mind is. When we clear our mind, we're trying to put down all of our thinking, all of our conceptual thought, and all of our mental constructs, everything that can possibly go into our mind. Included in that is the idea that there is an I, there is a you, there is a me. So when you put down all of those constructs and mental concepts and there's only emptiness remaining, that emptiness is connected to everything. It goes through everything. It's what's holding everything. And so in that sense, because there are no boundaries, there is one mind. There is only mind. And I think you could also, in language, call that a shared consciousness in some way. But with that said, when your mind is completely clear, it does become a mirror of all of nature. So I kind of have, I'm kind of giving a little more nuance to the way the question was presented. But when it's completely still, it's like water that becomes completely still. It just reflects everything around it. So if you think of like water as the substance of your mind, even though I said it's empty, I'm using a metaphor here. When you have sensory stimulation, you're getting waves. And when it becomes completely calm, then it becomes a mirror of everything. But that is also transcending all of the sensory inputs of your body too, because those are causing ripples and waves. So when that becomes completely still, it just is a pure reflection of everything. And that's when you see or experience that emptiness connects you to everything. And in Zen, that's what we call getting enlightenment. So I gave some things today about planting seeds and setting your intentions. But ultimately, if you want to completely clear your mind and reach the state of enlightenment, you have to actually clear all of that out as well. Any questions about that? We dove into the deep end of the philosophy of Zen there. Give him a little chance to ask a follow-up question as well, because there's a delay here. So was this different than the type of meditation you would practice?
So we would just do the mantra meditation.
Yeah.
It's slightly different. So I don't know if you've heard. So we used to do what was called Vipassana meditation or Vipassana meditation, depending on how you pronounce it. But it was mostly focused on the breath, which was the mantra meditation. But I think focusing on the number is new to me. For us, what we simply did was try and, essentially follow the path of the breath, which, as you were talking us through it, right, feel it going in, feel it getting the energy from the brain and kind of going down to your heart and feel as if you're breathing from your heart. That was essentially what we used to do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of this is different forms of mantra meditation is basically what I was using. Some are like, as I was saying, are to plant the seeds, but the purest form of Zen meditation is just using the mantra or the breath, and in that regard. There's a question here. I'm not sure how to respond to it. Do you believe that we all exist with all seeds present and they are watered? I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that question, honestly. But I'll do my best to kind of respond to what I think is in there. I believe that there is reality, there's existence. I believe that's all that there is. So the one mind, as I was referring to, contains everything, and we're all like eyes of that one mind, if you would. Similar to how our body has two eyes, our mind has eyes that are all of the beings. But I believe the way we perceive reality, because it's tainted by our thoughts and our constructed mental constructs and our conceptual thinking and different ideas we have, the feelings we get from our bodies, the perceptions we have, I think those all are a product of our body, which has evolved in a way that doesn't allow us to see the true nature of everything, because it's more focused on preserving our body for survival. And so only through meditation and clearing all of those ideas, thoughts, feelings, perceptions, putting them down, then do you get to the real, that's the only state in which you can perceive the true nature of everything. And in a certain way, it's not any different from what is there already. It's just a difference in the way you are experiencing it. So I kind of didn't directly answer that question, but I did my best to respond to it in a way that hopefully will shed some light, at least on my perspective.
I understood the question as, are we born with karma? And then karma manifests the seeds, like different seeds. However, they're watered with the environment and we grow up, and some seeds will grow up, and it's not always something good, right? You can have a lot of weeds there. But also maybe some good seeds that are watered or not, but all the seeds are there. So you kind of don't have to plant the seed. They're there. You just need to water the right one and then get rid of the. But ultimately, as you said, all of these seeds you want to get rid of, good and bad.
Yeah, so I think you raised some interesting perspectives on that. I think, as I said, all of these seeds, if the mind contains everything, all of these seeds are there. Right. The difference is, if you think, I'm going to use another metaphor here, if you think of your mind as a garden, if you don't tend the garden, all different seeds of all different types blow in, and all these weeds grow, and it gets overgrown, and it's hard to tell what plant is what. The ones certain lights don't get the light they need to grow. So the idea is, with meditation, it's like before you start your garden, you turn over all the soil and you get fresh soil where nothing's growing. Then when you plant your seeds via a koan or an intention that you're setting, then you're intentionally putting the seeds in the garden that you want to see what they blossom into and the fruits they produce. And then your mind's energy is the water and the light that the seeds need to grow. And so it's just a more intentional way of directing the growth of the garden of your mind, if you will. So perhaps that will help with the way that question was asked as well.
So in a way, all the seeds are there, but we're being, as gardeners, selective on which seeds we want to see grow.
Yeah.
And eventually just have fresh garden. Not have a garden at all.
Yeah, I think it's you can take this metaphor in a lot of different directions, but once again, you got to be careful, because this is just a metaphor. In a certain way, all words are a form of metaphor. And the important thing, from the perspective of Zen practice, is to transcend all of those words, to put all of it down, to clear everything out, and see what's left when it's completely empty. And that's the true nature of your mind and what you're trying to reach through meditation in Zen practice. And that will help you understand the true nature of your own being and how you fit into this world, into this universe, and then you will understand how to have more harmony in your life, the proper way to conduct yourself in every moment, to attain more harmony and to alleviate the suffering within yourself and the people around you. Any more questions? I think I'm happy to keep going if you have anything.
No, I think I very similar to both what you and Nadia said. Was thinking of the question more in terms of the potential is always there in your mind. It's up to you to kind of figure out the path of which ones you want to drive towards increasing or improving or achieving, and which ones you want to keep away from your mind.
All right, well, I think we'll leave it at that. We will be back 2 Thursdays from tonight I'll do an actual Dharma talk. That's where I give a little bit more of an in-depth talk about something to do with Zen philosophy, the mind, similar to what we talked about in the Q&A today. And I also do a Q&A at the end of those sessions as well. But we do less types of meditation, just mantra meditation and the breathing technique. So if you're interested in that, definitely come by for that. I'm just going to make a couple other announcements. I do have other groups. I have a writing group and an art group where we practice art and writing and meditation. And we use the art form as a form of meditation. And then we use the meditation as a form of inspiration to inform our art. That's kind of the idea behind the school being called the Zen Art Center, is that any art form can become a form of meditation if you treat it that way. And then by extension, any activity you're doing, as I mentioned in today's talk. So this month, the writing class is this Sunday from 3:30 to 5. The art class is December 14th, 3:30 to 5 on a Saturday. And you don't need any prior experience to participate in these classes if that's anything that you might be interested in. Also, please sign up for our email list if you're interested in getting updates and notifications of when the upcoming class schedule is. As far as anything else, I believe that's it. I also rely solely on donations, so if you feel like leaving a donation, it's greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for joining us. Glad to have you with us. Please come again. Love to have you be part of our community. Thank you.